There is a single phrase you can use, just one time, when someone treats you poorly and it changes everything without any drama. You'll feel the dynamic transform, but not through conflict, not by pretending to be strong. One clear line and it's over. Because here's the hidden truth about rude behavior. It's rarely just about bad manners. It's about possession. Possession of your focus, possession of your inner resources, possession of your desire to be seen. The instant you begin to justify your position, you surrender that possession, and that is why the cycle continues. Not because you've earned it, not because they hold more power, but because quietly, through your replies, you show them what is permitted. It often doesn't begin with a direct attack. It starts as a pointed remark, a sharp edge in their voice, a subtle public cut, words that make your face grow warm, a knot forming in your chest, that immediate instinct to smooth things over so the discomfort passes. Most individuals do precisely what the other person anticipates. They hurry, they protect, they refine, they gentle their language, they attempt to demonstrate they are fair, and in that attempt, they cement the routine. Yet there exists a centered response that halts the routine instantly because it withdraws the one element that rudeness requires to live, your presence in their game. Stay with me, because shortly I will give you that exact phrase. More critically, I'll reveal why its effect is so immediate, why it lands with such finality, and why uttering a single extra word after it can unravel the whole thing. Core Insight 1. Why poor treatment recurs. It's easier to think disrespect stems from cruel individuals, from storybook antagonists, from those lacking in decency, because if the fault is entirely theirs, you avoid examining your part in the dance. But human behavior is more severe and more practical. Most disregard is learned. People experiment first. They don't preface it. They leave a minor remark and observe the result. A small cut, a patronizing relax, a cynical chuckle when you share an idea, a question framed to diminish you. Then they analyze your reply. Do you grin to maintain harmony? Do you elaborate excessively on your meaning? Do you join the laughter even when it hurts? Do you scramble to show you aren't upset? To them, that's feedback. Not always deliberate, not always mean-spirited, but behavior follows a simple law. What is effective gets repeated. If a jab has no price, it becomes routine. If a limit is fuzzy, it gets passed again. If you soak up unease to shield the atmosphere, you become the container where unease is placed. And the stark reality is this. The individual doesn't need to despise you for the pattern to persist. They only need to know you will permit it. That's why disregard tracks possession. Possession of your reactions. Possession of your urge to correct the situation. Possession of your mental space. If they can press and you will absorb, they will press further. So the true issue isn't how do I force their esteem. The issue is what kind of possession have I been granting? Core Insight 2. The 3 mistakes in the instant. A disrespectful act occurs quickly. Your physiology responds before your thoughts can craft a clean reply. Your pulse quickens, your thinking races, your mouth wishes to speak at once so you can halt the feeling of being vulnerable. That's where most fall into one of 3 errors. Error 1 is confrontation. Confrontation feels potent. It feels like honoring yourself. But most disputes are not strength. They are pursuit. You are chasing reason. You are trying to be comprehended. You are trying to win a case inside the other person's mind. And the moment you begin chasing, you've already surrendered control. Error 2 is masking with humor. Wit can be graceful, but laughing it away when you are truly pained isn't grace, it's concealment. That's you consuming the limit and naming it growth. And the other person learns a very simple lesson. You will allow it. Error 3 is paralysis. Stillness can be mighty, but not the stillness born of dread. That variety of stillness speaks volumes. People perceive it. Your stance alters, your gaze drops, your vitality contracts, and fear is legible. Here's what counts. The fastest reply establishes the character of the entire exchange. When you react in an instant, you legitimize the moment. You confirm it is worthy of your energy. Dynamics of influence function like this. Whoever dictates the rhythm dictates the encounter, and that is why the gravest error isn't voicing your view, it's voicing it too quickly. Conduct that commands respect is unhurried, sparse, considered, not because the person is unfeeling, but because a pause signifies selection, and selection signifies authority. If your answer is hasty, it's emotional. If it's considered, it's purposeful. And disrespect cannot bargain with purpose the way it bargains with feeling. Core Insight 3. The serene authority of Stoic thought. The Stoic philosophers grasped something many still find difficult to practice. You cannot command every event, but you can command what gains entry to your inner world. Marcus Aurelius wrote of shielding the mind, not by constructing barriers, but by selecting what merits admission. Epictetus was even more straightforward. Some matters are within your power, and some are not. Your answer is yours. Their conduct is not. That is not surrender. That is sovereignty. Because when someone slights you, they anticipate movement. They expect a response. They expect you to reshape yourself around their action, either by erupting or diminishing or explaining. Composure shatters that expectation. Psychologically, calm projects assurance. Assurance projects command. Command does not rush. It does not contend. It does not plead its justification. And that is profoundly unsettling for someone who relies on extracting a reaction. Disrespect thrives on asymmetry. If you flare, they gain an advantage. If you crumble, they gain an advantage. But if nothing alters within you, no visible emotional signal, they lose the lever they were pulling. This is what holding your ground resembles. The anchored person determines what is significant, and here's the crucial point. Silence by itself can achieve this, but silence with resolve achieves it quicker because it generates a pause that carries weight. People detest an empty space. We hurry to populate it. We struggle to recover command. That's why a composed pause can alter a social space more powerfully than any shouted retort. Yet you may not always want silence alone. Sometimes you require one clear statement that fixes the limit firmly. One statement, no discussion, because conclusiveness is the one thing a disrespectful pattern cannot endure. Core Insight 4. The one statement. Here it is. State it one time with calm, and then cease speaking. I don't receive communication that way. That is all. No added words, no attacks, no sermon, no backstory, no justification, no detailing your past pains, no theatrical warning. Your peace is not a public space. I don't receive communication that way. This operates because each component is designed. I indicates you are claiming your standard. You are not assailing their character. You are not diagnosing them as flawed. You are speaking about what you welcome. Don't receive is not identical to don't prefer. It is not I feel uneasy. Those words invite debate. Receive communicates a conclusion, finality, a choice. Communication that way identifies the action, not the individual. You are not labeling them impolite. You are not escalating. You are simply marking the line. That is why it is so difficult for them to dispute. If they dispute, they reveal their nature. If they ridicule it, they show their character. Either way, you cease bearing the load. Now, delivery outweighs volume. Speak it slowly. Neutral expression, easy posture, no grin, no rage, no regret. Your physique should appear as if the statement is a natural fact. Timing is also vital. Say it directly after the slight, not a day later in a text. Immediate standards instruct faster, and the most critical element is what follows. You stop speaking because the instant you begin to explain, you convert a clean standard into a conversation. If you add, I only mention this because my week has been hard, you welcome them to evaluate your motive. If you add, I'm sure you didn't intend it, you dull the line before it connects. If you add, could you please, you change a principle into an appeal. You do not require their agreement. You require the standard to be present, so you state it once. Then you allow quiet to perform its finest work. Compel reality to become visible. And this is where many spoil it, because the next moments can feel tense, and your instincts will plead with you to mend the situation. Do not. Core Insight 5. What occurs after you speak it? Anticipate predictable replies. First is disbelief. They did not anticipate calm opposition, especially from someone who typically elaborates. Then comes the withdrawal, masked as humor. Can't you take a joke? Or the standard deflection. You're overreacting. That is not a reasoned point, it's a probe. They are verifying if they still possess the former version of you, the version that mends the mood by abandoning the limit. Sometimes they will sneer, sometimes they will pivot the topic abruptly, sometimes they will grow still. That stillness matters. Uncomfortable, quiet after a standard does not mean you erred. It means the old pattern just fractured and a new calibration is occurring. You might feel responsible. Your thoughts might generate reasons to weaken it. Maybe I was too firm. Maybe I should explain. Maybe I should send a message later so they don't believe I'm upset. That urge is appeasement disguised as wisdom, and appeasement is precisely what instructed the disrespect. Let the tension be. Let them sit with the outcome of their choice of words. Let the air feel dense for a moment. Seneca cautioned against becoming a slave to the views of others. The quickest path to that slavery is rushing to fix any strain you did not initiate. You did not initiate the disrespect. You initiated the standard, and standards can feel chilly to those who are profiting from your warmth. Sometimes after that statement, their manner gentles. They adjust. They step back. Sometimes they maintain distance later. If they create distance because you set a simple expectation, that is not a defeat, that is harmony. Because you are not attempting to keep all people near, you are selecting who gains entry. Core Insight 6. When voicing nothing holds greater force. Not every instance merits that statement. Some people don't slight you to lead you. They slight you to trigger you. They desire the reaction. They want the emotional fuel. They crave the engagement. In those instances, language can feed the contest. That is when quiet is the superior tool. Not the quiet of fear, but the quiet of choice. You do not glare. You do not exhale loudly. You do not look away with exasperation. You simply withdraw your participation. No clarification. No visible emotional output. You proceed as if the law did not exist. This bewilders provocateurs because there is nothing to press against. Here is the distinction. Standards are for recurring behaviors. Withdrawal is for static. If someone passes a line once, you can voice the standard. If they replicate the same conduct after you've been clear, the next signal doesn't need more language. The next signal is space, because repeating the phrase too often transforms strength into theater. You do not perform your principles, you inhabit them. Respect isn't requested, it's demonstrated. High self-regard does not proclaim itself, it is witnessed. So employ the statement when you feel encroached upon. When the line is genuine, when the moment demands a definitive halt, employ quiet. When the moment is bait. Either path, your aim is identical. Manage entry, because esteem was never about being adored. It was about being transparent. You do not gain power by justifying yourself more eloquently. You gain power by deciding what you receive. When you cease reacting, you begin selecting your tone, selecting your tempo, selecting your expectations, and that transforms all that follows. Exchanges decelerate. People adapt. Some people leave. Others appear in a new manner. The world begins to treat you in the way your standards teach it to treat you. So recall the line, "I don't receive communication that way." State it once, mean it, then let your quiet demonstrate you were not bargaining. If this resonated, you already know where you need it first. Comment below where you'll apply this phrase initially. Workplace, home, social circles. And if you desire more methods for serene authority, personal limits, and mastering your inner state, subscribe to Winds of Thought. Your existence improves when you cultivate the practice of defending your inner quiet and maturing steadily, privately, day by day,